You're too pure for this wicked world. Your data's uncorrupted, but does some...
Hi there, welcome back to My Hot Kitchen. This week's romantic meal is going to feature the lighter flavors of grilled chicken, avocado, roasted peppers, highlighted with the elements of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. The great thing about this meal is that it's packed with nutrition, and with a little help from you, a whole lot of love. Your sweetie's mouth is going to water in anticipation. So the first step in this is to marinate the chicken. You want to marinate the chicken ahead of time so that it becomes packed with flavor. It also allows the marinade to tenderize the chicken just a bit. So a quarter cup of olive oil, a quarter cup of balsamic vinegar. Whisk it together until it's nice and emulsified, and then simply pour it over the chicken. Sprinkle it with salt and fresh cracked pepper. And then flip the breasts over and make sure you give the other side the same treatment. Who knew that 4 simple flavors would make such a tender and delicious chicken breast? Make sure you flip it till it's all covered. Beautiful, let that sit. I'm going to preheat my grill, and I'm going to come over here and work on the rice pilaf next. Pilaf's going to take almost half an hour to cook, so that's why you want to get this going now. To a nice hot saute pan, add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. To that, add garlic, about 2 big fat cloves worth, and a handful of pecans. Let this saute for a moment together, sort of blend those flavors together. Just for a few moments. Don't really want to brown the garlic or anything. To that, add your rice, 3/4 cup of jasmine rice. And you just want to saute that together with the pecans and the garlic for a few moments until you start to see some of the individual grains sort of puff up. Perfect. You can tell they're puffing because they turn whiter than the rest of the grains. At that point, you can add a pinch of roasted red peppers, a little bit of tarragon, and some basil. Saute that together for a moment longer. Really blend those flavors. Add a couple cups of water. And an ample amount of salt. Sometimes it's easier to pour a little bit into your hand so you can see how much you got going on. Got a little bit over a teaspoon there. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. Also a little fresh cracked pepper. And once this comes up to a boil, I'm going to put a lid on it and drop it down to a low simmer. So now the chicken's had a few minutes to marinate, it's time to throw it on the grill. So find the very hottest part of your grill, it's usually going to be in the middle, and drop it down. Now I always like to drop down presentation side first. And with chicken breasts, it's usually the skin side that I like to put down on the grill first. A little more dousing in the marinade. Oh yeah, you want to hear a nice sizzle when you drop that on the grill. I don't know why it always works better to put presentation side down first, but it does. It just results in a prettier plate. So once you've got some nice caramelization and the meat releases easily from the grill, you're clear to flip it. Now if you're working with some big giant breasts like I am on this particular meal, you may want to score it, because that's going to help bring a little bit more heat into the thickest part of the breast and result in a more evenly cooked meal. Nobody will ever know because you're doing this on the underside of the meat. Beautiful flip. Beautiful. Douse them with just a little bit more of my marinade here. That smells so good. So with the main elements of your romantic dinner in the works, let's move on to the real star of the show, the avocado bruschetta. This sexy little side dish is going to steal the show. So begin by breaking down your avocado, cut it across its axis to break it into 2 halves. And this is my favorite way to get the pit out. With my fingers nice and clear, a little twist, pop it off. And the next thing I'm going to need is a spoon to scoop out the avocado. Before I do that though, I'm going to douse it with a little lemon juice. This will help to preserve the color and the flavor of the avocado. With the lemon juice on it, go ahead and slide your spoon in around the outside of the avocado. And use your spoon to scoop it out. Beautiful. Pull out the pit. Any parts that don't look good to you, scrape those off. Slice it up. I like to slice it in half this way first. Leave it stacked. And some nice thin slices. Straight in with the knife. You may need to use your fingers to keep the avocado from coming apart. Well, rotate and cut across those to make little cubes. Just love avocados. Their flavor is unmatched in the vegetable department. Wonderful. Scoot this to the side. Move on to the red pepper. Same sort of thing, cut it into long, thin lines. Then cut across it to make little tiny dices. Scoot it over there next to the avocado. And the green onion, trim off the roots. And most of the green tips. Cut into nice thin little rounds. Beautiful. This is what I call a cutting board concoction. So I'm going to sprinkle it with more lemon juice, a little tiny bit of fresh tarragon, a little salt, and a little fresh cracked pepper. And then use your knife to mix it all together right on the cutting board. Some gentle folding motions to blend it all together. Once you've got a nice even distribution of the beautiful red peppers and the avocado, go ahead and drop it back in a little bowl. Clear off your cutting board. Give it a little taste. That's amazing. So when it feels nice and firm like that, I can tell that my chicken's done. I'm going to go ahead and take it off the grill and put it on the plate. It's going to rest there for a few moments while I cook off the asparagus. And move it on to the asparagus. So a little trick to keep it fresher longer is to set it in nice cool water, kind of like a bouquet of flowers. That helps to freshen it up a little bit. I'm going to cut off about the bottom third to a quarter of the stalks. Drop the shoots into a nice little bowl and drizzle with balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and then toss that all together. Great. And then put these on the grill. That's right, right on the grill. I like to live a little bit dangerously and actually use my fingers for this part. Sprinkling them with a little bit of salt, a bit more fresh pepper. Make sure my heat's nice and high. I'm just going to move them around the grill until they start to brown a little bit. So when you can see that a lot of the shoots have started to turn bright colors and get a little bit of caramelization on them, go ahead and take them off the grill, put them on the plate. Move the ones from the cooler part of the grill to the hotter part, and keep rolling. They're gonna come off like in batches. Beautiful. All right. Then you're ready to add the rice pilaf to the plates. You want to start with a little light fluffing. This will help to ensure the texture of the pilaf is right and that all the seasonings are evenly distributed through the dish. Just scoot the pilaf on in next to the asparagus and the chicken. And garnish the chicken with the avocado bruschetta. These are ready to go on the table. I just love how the colors play off each other on here. So the great thing about this meal is that it fills you up but doesn't weigh you down. So you'll have lots of energy left over for your date night with your sweetie. This chicken goes great with a nice dry white wine like a Sauvignon Blanc or a Chablis. Now call in your sweetie. Goodbye. My love?
All dinner's ready?
Yes, dear.
Right.
All ready.
Yum.
Oh,
Hi.
nice to see you.
Yes, this looks delicious.
Chicken and avocado?
I love avocado. Very
I know.
Look at this. Such a hot kitchen.
So thanks for joining me in my hot kitchen tonight. Have fun turning up the heat in your kitchen, and I'll see you next week. Night-night.
You're too pure for this wicked world.
Pet the kitties.